Today's episode is brought to you by JerkSwag.
Ben Franklin, writer, inventor, and every stripper's favorite bill. Where's my hose at? JerkSwag! Our dynamic trio of sports enthusiasts and longtime friends bring you the latest sports news, heated debates, and offbeat stories from the wide world of sports. Whether you're a diehard fan or just enjoy a good laugh, we've got you covered. Are your balls out?
Suck it, jabroni.
Hey, are you ready? Are you done fucking around?
Hey. Yo.
I do not have peanut butter on my list here.
Oh, my goodness. That's ridiculous.
You're listening to the Balls Out Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Ala, Crispy, and Jonas Mount.
All right, it is the live.
Sheesh.
Live.
Yep.
The live? We were just live for a few minutes. Kind of goofing off.
Was that pre-live?
It was pre-live. It was the pre-live live.
That was the pre-workout to the workout.
Somebody's been pre-gaming.
Pre-workout. Pre-game. I am for sure pre-gamed.
Too much Pedialyte.
Too much. He's got to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
That's what he's got to do.
That's right.
Welcome into the Balls Out Sports Podcast. Apparently, I've had too much coffee myself. Let's try.
Let's try one more time.
Welcome into the Balls Out Sports Podcast. Alongside Ala to my left.
That's me.
That's the guy. We got Crispy joining us from Greenville, South Carolina.
What's up, family?
That's he.
There we go. There we go.
Hey.
Ala's happy now. Ala is definitely happy now. I am Jonas Mount. Welcome into the show. Want to kick this off really quickly and let everybody know before we go to some of our YouTube live questions, but I want to let everyone know that we are in our space. We are 100%. We are live. You can catch us on Tuesday evenings, somewhere in that 8:30 to 9 p.m. range Eastern Standard Time, where you can catch the show live. If you cannot catch us live at that particular time, you will then be able to hear us at a later date. We will go live to all of our podcasts, wherever we're broadcasting from. All of our, what do you call them? The hell they call them?
Social media platforms?
Not the podcast platforms, right?
DSPs.
That's what I said.
No, you didn't say that.
No, I did. You just rewind it. You'll watch it later.
Okay.
So you can check those out, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can catch us on Google, Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon. That's right. It's not Amazon. It's Amazon. You can catch us there as well. And, of course, you'll always be able to catch the YouTube at any point as well. Both of those will be uploaded at 8 a.m. on Thursday mornings. And, of course, you can just watch them at your convenience or listen to them in your vehicle as you're on your way to or from work.
Nobody wants to go to work anymore.
Well, at least you get to listen to this on your way while you're on your lunch break, on your way home. Watch it. Don't watch it in the car, though. I'm not going to necessarily say you should do that.
Watch it in the car. I mean, everybody got a mount. You can just put your phone up there.
We are not promoting you watching anything while you're on your car.
No, you can look forward while it's playing. We need all the streams we could get.
Okay.
Go on, run them numbers up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Want to give a shout out to our friends over at JerkSwag, JerkSwag Clothing Company, JerkSwag.com. They believe in pushing boundaries, questioning social norms, and making people snort with laughter or stare in disbelief. We also believe in making money. So clutch your pearls, Grandma, and pony up. We are all jerks here. So check them out, JerkSwag.com. Of course, their clothing. You can catch their T-shirts. They've got hats as well. We love them. We thank them for being a part of this particular podcast. So
I didn't get my shirt yet.
We've got I realize you haven't gotten your shirt yet. Why do you keep talking to me? It's not like you don't know the folks at JerkSwag.
I know the folks at JerkSwag.
You do. So why have you had this conversation with the folks at JerkSwag yet?
No, because those conversations go a little differently.
Oh, okay. I don't really know what that means, and I'm not going to ask.
I will not spoil that.
I keep getting sent to voicemail.
That's because
I don't know if that was intentional or what.
Probably.
Well, we do hope that their customer service is stateside. Let's just hope that's the case.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, Jonas just made a funny.
Did I? Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Sorry.
We do have a ton of topics to get to this evening. God, I got so many. I don't even know where all of them are now.
Yeah, I know.
There's my notes. Nice.
That's why I didn't read that note.
However, you did admit that to me earlier today. You know, we've got a little bit of a problem here because I asked Olive if he'd read the note.
I did read it.
And earlier today, he told me he hadn't.
I didn't.
He read it on his way from work. He was reading it and driving.
While he was driving. Yeah, that's what he was doing.
Nope. I read it after you said something.
He was
So I read it next to
multitasking.
Yeah.
Multitasking.
Yeah, because I had to
did you-
bitch at you for a while before I'd get you to finally read it.
I couldn't find where it was at technically.
Well, it was in
I had
the
to
text
go
thread.
search. I had to go search for it first.
Crispy, did you have a problem finding it? Because I noticed you made some edits.
Nah, no, I did not. I
Sweet.
was off today, so I was able to do my homework.
So he's probably the
Got
most
it all
prepared.
right here.
He's not.
Well,
He's not.
that's usually the case, though.
Right.
Ooh.
Okay.
You trying to say he's more
Just
prepared than
saying.
us?
But
Just saying.
he's got his
I got
animal
stuff.
crackers,
Yeah, that's true.
and his
I do.
Pedialyte.
Well, we don't. We're let's see who's focusing this on. Yeah, this one's brought to you by Yeti today. You can't see it on my little fancy
sure can't.
wallpaper now.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But
we
this
prefer
one's
the
gonna be-
wallpaper. Don't
What's
worry
up
about
with
that.
what's up with the background now? What? Who put that there?
He put that there. It's his
Why?
own background.
Why?
Why not?
Because now
You
we
don't like
can't,
it?
we can't see when the lights go off.
Oh, good point.
Oh,
That's a good point.
man.
That's all right. Hey, you will know because it's gonna look like this.
He's just gonna walk off the frame.
He's gone.
All right,
And I'm gonna be gone for a little while.
I got you. You're right. My bad.
Hey, does everyone does know I'm on like the 30-day DL still, right? So my times are not gonna be so great right now.
Your shuttle times are down.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I had got a knee scope done. I'm getting old, so had some work done on my knee. So
Yeah, he had
That's-
surgery on the arm.
yeah,
Scope
had that
knee.
all fixed up. Scoping out the knee, trying to make 2024 a better year. Hey, it was like, hey, I paid my deductible, right? I was like, hey, let's get some other stuff done. Yeah,
Gotta get it all
free
in.
out of my pocket.
'Cause it's
Yeah,
about to
might
go
as
over.
well.
I think I got a tooth coming in back here. I might have to go get
Yeah.
that checked out real quick.
Yeah. I wish the tooth was part of that. I've been,
Nice. All right, so we've got a ton of stuff to get to, but before we do, want to get to this question that we got from one of our viewers, listeners on YouTube. Hank messaged us and asked the question, if you were starting an NFL franchise today, who would be your quarterback, running back, wide receiver trio?
I'm gonna tell you who it won't be. It won't be Zach Williams.
Okay.
He's gone.
Got it.
Fired. Oh, this looks nice. The big gold.
I heard through my sources, I
Probably to buy some more hats. He wasn't going to quarterback. I'll tell you that much.
he done bought all the ones in the ATL, so maybe so.
He probably still got that Auburn money, so he all right. He's still spending that Auburn
He's
money.
still got Auburn money. He's got plenty of money. He's got nothing to worry about.
I think I got my list already really quickly.
Is this current? It says franchise today.
Yeah, we're starting today. We get a fantasy draft right now. Who's your quarterback?
Do you want to answer this in full now, or what do we want to do?
Are we going with like
You wanna-
winners, or can we just like go with who we like?
Well, I
I'm
mean,
going
if you're
to who I
starting an NFL franchise, you probably want to win.
But we're not going off of like past like accolades right now. Like, oh, he won a Super Bowl already.
No.
or
It's
anything
like right
that.
now. If
right
all the
now.
players that are currently playing in the league right now, that's how I understand the question.
Justin Herbert. That's my guy.
This was
That's your
easy.
guy?
Taking Justin
Yeah,
Herbert.
this was easy. All I did was pull up my fantasy team, and I got my guys.
Well, he definitely has his guys. I'm not pulling up my fantasy team to answer this question. That's for damn sure.
He's gonna work. He's gonna work some fantasy in there somehow, some way. ain't he?
Always going to work fantasy.
Man,
Until I lose the championship game, and then we'll never talk about it again.
He's notorious
Oh,
for that,
goodness.
by the way. has a
Oh,
great has a
yeah.
great regular season, and I can't get to it.
Active
So.
players.
Yeah.
Active
Straight
players.
with
Yep.
four
Okay. Thanks
got-
for Hank's listening and gave us some clarity on it, and it's active players. So
Am I gonna take it? Oh, I was about to say Calvin Johnson. That's my wide receiver of all time right there.
That's strong right there.
Nah.
but current active.
Current.
So active players. right now.
Herbert.
Okay.
Hell, give me Garrett Wilson. I don't care the way he's playing, even with Zach Wilson.
Oh,
is
man.
really good. I'm taking Herbert, Garrett Wilson, just the way he comes out his breaks and catches everything.
He's nice.
At running back, I don't know. It's not.
Just to go ahead and take Brees Hall.
Nah,
Brees Hall.
I don't-
Let's go.
Brees is good. I'm going different. I'll probably take Saquon.
Oh.
Okay. I like that.
So, Ala, I love this because you just took one of.
See,
Exactly. You know
Hey,
what's
you'd be
up.
great.
So,
You'd do better than I would.
So my three right now, I got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. I have Tyreek Hill, but I think he's going to retire next year possibly. So JJ would be my follow-up, Justin Jefferson. And then I got Saquon at running back. Saquon, we need to go put a GoFundMe for Saquon. We got to get him out of New York. That is an absolute waste of talent on that New York Giants team. Absolute waste.
and
We need to get him out of New York badly. I don't care what team he goes to. It's got to be better than New York.
to think they weren't even trying to pay that man.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Now
That's miserable. That is a miserable team.
now he's all they got.
Yeah, I mean, they have direct snaps to him, and they got two blockers in front of me, and they don't even know what to do.
Yep, it's bad.
It is bad.
Man, this
Football team on TV that has ever looked worse than the Giants have, and I couldn't think of one. It is bad. At least had better effort and looked better.
they were actually. I remember that season. They were competitive in so many games that year.
Wasn't Megatron on that team? Calvin Johnson was on that team, right?
Yes, he
No,
was.
we do not. Well, we won't associate him with that team. That's
so-
no, we can't do that. No.
Because wasn't Stafford quarterback in that team?
Oh gosh, go Dogs.
Was he really?
I think it was Stafford and
like his
Calvin
first or second
Johnson
year?
was there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was bad.
Yeah. They had no defense.
But yeah, no, they
no.
couldn't. They would put up points
They couldn't stop anybody.
just like Matt.
Mm.
That's why they were competitive in so many games because they were putting up points.
That's Stafford's career right there, right? You know that he's gonna put some numbers up
Yep.
because he has really good career numbers.
Oh my God, unbelievable!
It just stops.
Yep.
Like
It does.
He always has bad defenses.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my three. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. It's going to be Deebo Samuel at running back.
At where?
Well, he's running back, wide receiver.
Nope, that's wrong. Nobody cares about the dogs. Sorry.
So what am I? What's Deebo at? Is he
He
wide
was a
receiver?
receiver.
Is he?
Not really, but
Not really. He is a running back. He's listed as a running back.
Oh my gosh. Okay, tomato.
Hey, look, I'm going by what's next to the name. That's all
Christian
I'm saying.
McCaffrey's a running back.
Yes, he is a running back. But so is Deebo.
Okay.
I mean, I could go somewhere else if you want me to.
Please.
I'll go Patrick Mahomes. The wide receiver is the hardest part for me, actually. That's the hardest one.
Why?
Well, my running back will be, I'm going to go Homer, and I'll be Bijan at running back.
Okay.
If I can't take Debo, then I'm going to take Bijan.
Dijon mustard.
Dijon. But the wide receiver, that's the hardest one.
Why?
There's
Chase, Jefferson, Garrett Wilson.
Brown.
Garrett Wilson.
There's a lot of them.
That's why it's
AJ
hard.
Brown.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm
Amon-
picking one.
St. Brown. Right. Amon
St. Brown.
St. Brown. Him.
Right.
Amon St. Brown.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of them.
I know.
Hey.
I think I'm going to go with Brown. I think I'm going to go Brown.
Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle.
AJ.
I think I'm going AJ Brown.
Yeah,
That's
you can't
tough.
go wrong. That's the thing right now. There are so many good receivers.
Chris Olave. Did you see that catch?
Yeah. Oh my God. Did
CD Lamb.
you see Keenan Allen's catch?
Keenan Allen's listen.
He has been a
Keenan
beast
I
for
love
years.
Keenan Allen.
Always been a fan.
Most
Crispy
underrated
knows, man.
receiver.
Hey, he looks like one of our family members.
Yes,
I think I know who.
Yeah, you do. You know who it is. You definitely know who it is.
Yeah.
I mean, what? We can't say his name?
Is it the flag guy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
We can't say Corey's name? I mean, we can't say his name?
Are we?
Damn, now we got to pay him royalties. You know he's going to want something out of that.
He is definitely going to want something out of that.
I had to rework my contract.
All right, so let's throw this out to Hank. Let's give us yours. So, you asked. Now we want to know who your trio is.
Yeah, he's going to have some homer picks in there. Let's do this. Hey, real quick. I pulled up that 08 Detroit Lions that went 0-16.
Yep.
So 08, Stafford was drafted in 09.
Oh, okay.
So the quarterbacks were Dan or
Was that the year he ran out the back of the end zone?
Probably.
Drew Stanton, Drew Henson, and Dante Culpepper.
That's wow. I was about to
Calvin Johnson, of course, was on that team. I'm trying to look over see if there's any other stellar names that jump out here, but
Who were their running backs?
Oh no, I'm not answering that.
What?
I'm not answering that. We are done with that.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Nope.
No. We just got a question that said, what are y'all's thoughts on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? We are not answering that question.
No more.
Not happening.
No more
right.
Taylor.
We don't
No
do
more. No more Taylor Swift.
delete user.
Yeah, you're dead. You're dead.
You blocked.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Who was the running back for the? You still got it up? Who was that? Who was the running back? Who was the starting running back in 08?
Let's go. Avion Kaysen. You had Jerome Felton, Rudy Johnson,
Now we see why they went.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know none of them.
Torrance Moore and Norris.
Who was on the other
and
side of Calvin? Who was the number 2 receiver?
Kevin Smith.
Calvin Rogers.
Travis Taylor, John Stanford, Calvin Johnson, Adam Jennings.
I don't know.
He's got a Falcons jersey on. That's probably Chris Hannon. And
Weren't the
Can't say
Lions
that.
guilty of 3 straight seasons drafting a wide receiver in the first round? Wasn't that the
I
knock
think
on them?
I think it was
Carlos
Mike Williams,
Rogers.
Carlos Rogers, and then
Calvin
Megatron.
Johnson.
Yeah.
I think that's what
this year, they had their picks right here as well. They took an offensive lineman from Boston College the first round that year. Keith Moore, they took
Carlos
in the fifth
Rogers was
round.
another guy who had injury issues, but was nice.
Like Mike Williams, not
Yep.
the other Mike.
the other
Williams.
Mike Williams, yeah. from the Chargers. Yeah.
Mahomes, McCaffrey, and Lamb. I don't listen.
Ooh, what'd he take?
We'll
He
get,
said
Mahomes, McCaffrey.
McCaffrey, and CeeDee Lamb.
we'll get back to CD Lamb.
We
because
are going to talk about CeeDee Lamb tonight, as a matter of fact.
I read the note.
Yeah, you did read the note. All right, so we are going to switch gears. Hank, we appreciate it. Stay tuned. We're going to talk a little NBA basketball right now.
I'm gonna sit this one out.
Why? You like the NBA. You like
Yo.
basketball.
Why do I like the NBA?
Why do you like the NBA? I don't know, because you're black? I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
that's
there we
Oh,
go.
there it is.
He said it.
I mean, that's what you wanted me to say.
Yeah, no, that's true though.
Well, on what part? That you like the NBA
Hold
or that
on.
you're black?
I am black.
Okay, right.
Hold on. Why do I like the
The
NBA?
live stream has been taken down.
Why? So why does Crispy like the NBA?
Because
Because he wishes he was black? I don't know.
I don't want to get fly. I don't want
He
to.
wishes he was taller?
Somebody just said we were taken down. I don't want to get taken down. Again.
Yeah.
We're not going to get taken down.
Okay.
Hey,
Well,
hey, you always have to
I'm
have
gonna tell
that
you the truth.
one white
That's
guy
the
that
answer.
likes basketball
That's
on
my-
your team. I'm that guy. I love basketball. Basketball was my passion.
So
I had handle. I could shoot the three pointers.
It's always a white
That's right.
shooter.
It was always a white shooter.
Hey, John.
The short
hey, John
white shooter.
Stockton was my dude. John Stockton was my dude.
You got
Larry Bird.
You got Hornacek.
Yep. Yep.
That's right.
You got Steve Novak.
Yep.
You got
That's
JJ
right.
Redick.
Hey, I
Grayson
was-
Allen
I
right
wish-
now is that.
I wish I was Jay Williams back in the day with
yeah.
that
White
with those
chocolate.
handles.
White
Ooh,
chocolate.
man, that dude was so good. I loved him.
God, he
I was
was
going
fun
to
watch.
put him in my top 5 list.
All
But
right.
y'all tried to tell me that my list was bad. So,
Well, it was.
Well, it was
wasn't.
really bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was
wasn't.
real bad.
it wasn't.
It
All right, what part of the NBA are we talking first?
We're going to talk James Harden.
Oh gosh.
Oh, man.
Well,
What the fact that they're 0 and what 4, 0 and 5?
0-4 since trading for him. You know, and I want to bring this up. I don't have the audio for this, but did you guys hear that the announcer for the Dallas Mavericks go in on James Harden?
I did hear that.
Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
You know, the funny thing about it is despite James, and I looked at James Harden's numbers, like that, he has put up crazy numbers over the course of his career. Like, I mean, absolutely crazy numbers. He is, but you know, when the Mavericks announcer was talking about it. Do we got a clip of that? Can we play that?
Ooh, Christian's doing his job for a change.
I was gonna say it's
a
2
full
minutes
2-minute
long.
clip. Do you want to do the
Yep.
whole
We
thing?
don't. Yeah,
Nah.
we'll just go ahead and play it. We'll
He cut
stop.
a straight promo on him. He's been watching wrestling.
2 minutes.
Oh, here we
hope
go.
You're taking notes. I'm telling you in advance, you're welcome for the wisdom I'm about to spew. Because listen, I get on my knees every night and pray
There you
for
go.
someone to believe in me like Daryl Morey believed in you. You wanted a certain coach, they brought in Mike D'Antoni. You wanted to play a certain style, they played it. You wanted Dwight Howard, they brought him in and got rid of him when you were tired of him. You wanted Chris Paul, they brought him in and got rid of him when you were tired of him. They brought in your old friend Russell Westbrook. You wanted to go to Vegas on off days? They looked away. You wanted the team to stay over so you could go out at night. They changed the schedule, and it didn't work. And you know what? You said, I'm going to break up with my whoopee. Not good enough. I see the bright lights in New York. I want to go there. My old pal, Kevin Durant. It's going to work. The big three. And all after 1 year, you wanted out. You realized, oh my gosh, I took this guy for granted, the guy that believed in me. I went back with Daryl Morey. They traded Ben Simmons for you. How did they pull that off? And you know what? You went there and you got a partner who got the MVP. He won the MVP. And what did you say afterwards? You said, they didn't hand me the reins. You're the point guard. You were holding the reins. And what did you do when you had the reins? You scored 9 points in Game 7 against Boston. You blew a 3-2 series lead. So they fired their coach. Not good enough. You broke up with your guy, believed in you again. You said, the bright lights of L.A., that's where I want to go. Let's see if that works. Listen, James, have you ever had those friends who had bad roommates? Over and over, they complained about their bad roommates.
Oh my!
This guy's terrible. The bad roommate here.
You ain't the system,
They
you the
never
problem.
thought, being self-aware enough that they're the bad roommate. They're the problem. Hey, James, you're the problem. If this doesn't work this year in this system with this team, then you're going to go and point fingers at everybody else, and you're going to go back home and you're going to start swiping right for another team, and there's not going to be anybody left. Because, James, you're not the beard, you're not the system, you're the problem.
Oh my goodness!
Woo!
I mean, if there was a hot take, I don't know what's hotter than that. Yeah, give that man the belt. Yeah,
Give him the belt.
You know what? And he nailed it. He nailed it.
Dude,
That's
If
it
that
right
was
there in a
stri-
nutshell.
Yep.
That's it.
if that was straight from his heart kind of thing, like he did not like have the notes and all that, dude, that is the best roast I've heard in 15, 20 years.
I mean, and it was all factual. Like every single
Yeah.
thing that he was spewing was stuff that this is what James Harden has been.
And that was a couple of days ago, and you have not heard a single peep about Harden kind of like countering that or being like, yo, he's just a sports talker because he knows it's facts.
Yeah, what's he gonna say? Harden's gonna say none of that's true? No, it is true.
Hey,
Listen, I'm cool.
and how
with the
coincidental that the Sixers are 5-0 since the trade.
I'm cool. I'm cool with the Houston situation, right? Because you probably wore your welcome out afterwards. You won an MVP. Y'all went deep in the playoffs. Cool.
Right.
You brought pieces in. It didn't work. It didn't work. It
Sure.
didn't work.
It's gonna happen.
Right.
Right.
But you forced your way to Brooklyn. And then what happened? You did them dirty really quickly.
Yes.
To force your way back to Philly, right? And then you were a shell of yourself, period. Like that. Listen, I'm from Brooklyn, so don't ever do Brooklyn like that.
Oh my! I don't get this dude, man.
He disrespected the city.
Don't.
Well, him and KD, if you want to be technical.
Yeah.
They came there. They got all of those deals off the court. See, it's a deeper, darker over there, man. Like they tried to force it all on Kyrie, right? It was all Kyrie with the vax and the this and the that, and the anti whatever as he was saying. Like all of that was just flub for them.
Yeah.
They paid KD to nurse the Achilles. He came back. He wasn't himself initially. They brought in James to smooth him over, and James was out of shape. Forced his way out, and they get Ben Simmons, but they still playing well too.
Yeah.
Whenever he leaves,
I mean, I tell you what, we really didn't even have to say much of anything else. I mean, if I had really been thinking about this clearly ahead of time, it was, hey, so James Harden and the Clippers are 0-4 since they traded for him. play this bit and then we just move on. Like, I mean, it's like perfect.
Yeah.
Sign off, done deal, end of story. You know what's interesting, though, too, is that when they just played their most recent game against the Grizzlies, they were in a similar situation last what was it? When was the last time they played the Grizzlies? But they entered the home game against the Grizzlies with an 0-3 mark since they traded for James Harden. Just as they did last season, the Grizzlies were without Morant and a number of role players. And just as they did last season, the Grizzlies built a double-digit lead going into the fourth quarter. Clippers managed to erase a lot of that deficit, but still ended up losing the game. So arguably, not even arguably, I mean, the Grizzlies' best player wasn't on the court.
But I ain't even gonna get into that. That's a different subject.
Fair.
Because the Grizzlies play well without John Morant, even though their record this year is not win total wise, but they play well without John Morant.
But they play well with him too. I just think they got to try to.
He's a generational
Sure.
talent.
I'm just saying but they got to try to find a way to make it
Correct.
work with all those guys, and how do they get everybody else involved? Because when he's not there, other guys get an opportunity and they play well. So are those guys going to end up being shipped off? Are they going to end up being able to get some of those, get something in return for any of those guys? But, is there anybody else in the room that even had a good feeling about what would happen if Harden went to the Clippers? Did anybody here say, "Oh, yep, this is it. This is the one. This is the time where James Harden goes somewhere and they get over the hill"? Now, look, it's early, right? Obviously, it's still early, but things do not look good, and I never have the warm and fuzzies whenever I think about Harden going somewhere and making the team that much better.
Why?
No.
I don't.
Trash.
I agree with you. I'll just say why.
I mean,
what's the answer? Because he's a ball dominant
Sure.
player who has not played a lick of defense ever. Right. And he is the point guard, pseudo point guard, right? Because he has the ball in his hand all the time. Well, what does he do? He can't even make a shot anymore.
Did you see him clean his sneakers and then airball a 3-pointer? I mean, what's this guy doing? What is he doing?
He just like
he needs to go to a team that they're rebuilding. Like they completely blew up the whole system, and they have to have this one guy just to get him by for a little bit. That's the team he needs to go to. I feel bad for PG-13. I really like him a lot, and he's surrounded by all these other guys that they're the same ballers, in my opinion. They all play the same position kind of thing, and they all want to do the same thing. And I don't know. I think PG's wasting his time there. I think he's come to South Beach.
They waste. Oh my gosh! Like I was about to go. I was going to go with him for a second, and then I was going to say I feel sorry for Kawhi, Mr. Funny Man.
Yeah,
it's my guy. Kawhi is a baller.
Yeah,
his offensive numbers have gotten better every single year. We already know what he does on the defensive end when his knee is good, right?
Yep.
And Kawhi went there because it's hometown, and he was supposed to just ball out. They was going to build around him. They brought in PG, and then nothing ever happened.
Yep.
No, and now we got Westbrook, and I mean, how long before Westbrook just lights up? They pulled him out of the game the other day to let Harden take the final shot. Westbrook ain't gonna go for that.
No,
they both have too big of egos for that. That's why this doesn't work. That's why this doesn't work on the same. They can't be on the same team.
That's why they ended up having to blow it up at OKC, because they both were starting to shine. And here we go. There's not enough time for both of you. All right, let's blow this up. Let's get some draft picks out of it. Go your separate ways. And now they're back together, and we're like, we've already seen this party before.
So I mentioned this. I'm going to mention this because despite the fact that it's early in the season, and I said that before, here's an interesting stat. I'll read this really short paragraph for you. Harden struggled mightily in his fourth Clipper loss. Shot 4 for 12 for 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. But more troubling, the Clippers lost the 29 minutes that he played by 28 points and won the 19 minutes that he sat by 24.
So that's a negative whatever differential kind of thing that they always looking at.
Through 4 games, the Clippers have lost Harden's minutes by 67 points. In all other minutes this season, they have outscored their opponents by 85.
Yeah.
So if those numbers continue, how much longer is it that he's there?
Listen,
those numbers are troubling.
I agree with you, but that guy right there, he is a POS. Nah, I like.
Are you pointing at me?
No, not you. Sorry, not you.
Doesn't know what to do with his. Doesn't know what to do with his hands.
The guy that commented, Jermaine
Morrison comments on YouTube Live says Clippers are the new OKC from the past.
He don't even watch basketball. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I know him. He don't watch basketball. He is fibbing, and he's a Knicks fan, so you can't believe him very well.
Any more than I can believe you?
And he's a Giants fan.
Oh, that changes everything.
There you go. Look.
No, hey now, just kidding. Thanks, Jermaine. I appreciate the comment, but yeah,
That's bad.
it's just it's
I don't.
really
He just
bad.
needs to go. If a guy like they forced AI out, I'm not talking about Clippers, right? Overall,
Yeah.
the NBA will start to force an offensive player out, right? They did it with AI. They did it with Melo. I asked this before? How does Harden get a pass? He's never developed defensively. He's an offensive guy who can't put the ball in the basket.
And evident by these numbers, he doesn't make anybody around him any better.
Never has.
Right.
How is he still in the league? Or if he is in the league,
why do people keep paying?
That's
bingo?
It's not so much why is Harden still in the league. It's everybody else that keeps paying him to stay.
We're going to get the OKC Harden. We're going to get the Rockets Harden. You ain't going to get that Harden no more.
No.
That time is past.
Yeah, it's rough. Those numbers, what the Clippers numbers when he's on and off the court are alarming. And Tyronn Lue, who has proven himself to be a hell of a coach in this league, by the way.
You got a ring, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He's got to be thinking, okay, what does this look like? I mean, is Tyronn Lue the guy that actually wanted this to happen? Like, I got to ask this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think anybody wanted James Harden currently after the Rockets run.
Right.
No one wanted him. People, the players want him. Like KD wanted him.
You really think
Embiid
Westbrook
wanted
him?
him.
You think Westbrook wants him
They,
right now?
They're buddy. You ain't see when. So remember when the trade happened? He was like in a press conference. I can't talk about the trade until it's actually final. But yeah, I'm happy. He was like smiling in the press conference.
They gave him a $20,000 bonus for saying that.
Probably. Well, he had to go buy a new outfit.
Yeah,
that's right.
Got to get his new.
Hey,
fit.
best dress in the league.
All right.
Where'd I have him ranked?
I don't know. I don't care. Switching gears, we're going to talk a little bit very quickly about the Raiders.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, the Raiders 2-0 with Antonio Pierce as the head coach after firing. I saw this. I guess I'm just going to have to say this.
It was really clever. I love it. Yes, you have to say it.
So the Raiders are 2-0 with Pierce, or are they 2-0 without McDumbass?
It's from what we're hearing,
right?
It's without McDumbass. Like they're talking about the players only meetings, and they're so much more loose, and
the culture is
cigars everywhere, and they're all happy. Like Devontae don't want to leave no more.
Now he doesn't want to. Yeah,
and I don't even know his quarterback. So it's a shame that they beat the Jets. By the way, just letting y'all know that, right? Because who was the quarterback?
Exactly.
I don't have a clue.
Here we go. We lost to a 15th string quarterback. They don't have no corners.
Aiden O'Connell. I didn't know that name. I don't know why I forgot it. He passed for 153 yards and the game's only touchdown, by the way.
Neil O'Donnell. That's the only O'Donnell I
who
know.
threw the Super Bowl.
Jesus.
I'm going to say that until the cows come home. You know that Super Bowl, Pittsburgh, Dallas. He threw that Super Bowl.
I wasn't.
Were you not alive?
I did watch it.
I was going to say. I was like,
I ain't that young.
All right. Well, no, you're not. You're definitely not.
You're a hater.
I know. Second Raiders. He became the second Raiders rookie quarterback to win 2 of his first 3 starts. The last time that happened was 1976. Quarterback was Mike Ray.
I don't know who that is.
I was only a year old at the time, so I don't either. But
1900s.
But Devontae Adams even says he's not a rookie. By years he is, but by actions and the poise in those types of situations, you don't often see that by a rookie quarterback. The way he commands the huddle, the way he talks to us, the communication, the confidence. I'm glad he's our guy. What is that face? Why you got duck face? Why you got duck face?
Because he lying. Devontae just out there lying. They happy Josh McDaniels is gone.
Right.
And because McDaniels is gone, they get to actually play free. It was said, what I think I was watching the game, obviously, because my team was playing, but
they were
talking about Josh Jacobs. They was like how they actually now have scripts of the plays for him. Like he has input on his plays. Devontae was playing more free. Like all of them are more happy. Crosby's happy. Like they're happy now because he's not there.
Yeah.
And that's bad.
Well, and Josh Jacobs, speaking of the aforementioned, ended his 100-yard dry spell.
Yeah.
He finally surpassed 100 yards in a game. I think he snapped 14 straight games without reaching the century mark.
McDaniels was trying to get too cute. I don't know. He thought he had Tom Brady back there with, can I say it?
With what?
Jimmy Go Crap a Load?
Yes.
Back there. They thought that they had the next coming of Brady, and that's not the case. Jimmy's not that good of a quarterback. Why was San Francisco so willing to get rid of him to bring in an undrafted or a last pick kind of guy in Purdy? They knew.
Did you say Jimmy?
So,
Jimmy
Go Crap a Load? Yeah. He's been saying that for years.
Dude, I've been calling them that as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
He's getting
So
paid.
this goes along with
He is getting paid.
Yeah, he got paid.
Yeah.
He getting paid.
Standing on the sideline with an earpiece.
Yeah.
Getting
Hey,
paid.
so let's just take a peek at a couple of things, right? And I don't want to disrespect what they got going on. Raiders, they're feeling good. They've beaten the Giants and the Jets in those two games, right? They got the next couple of games. They got the Dolphins, they got the Chiefs, they got the Vikings, they got the Chargers, they got the Chiefs, they got the Colts, they got the Broncos. That's their remaining schedule. Let's see what we get out of it. But you know what? I hope Pierce gets a go at this. Sometimes you just need that guy that knows what the hell's going on in that. And he was a player.
Yeah.
He was on a Super Bowl team winning. He was a Super Bowl winning linebacker for the Giants. I mean, this guy was nice. He knows what's up. He's passionate. He's from there.
And that was another thing that they were saying during the broadcast, right? They were talking about doing it the Raiders way, not just only being like a rebel Raider, right? But being from the area, knowing like being gritty, getting back to running the ball, getting back to not being just in the offensive mode. He said, hey, look, we're gonna run the ball with Josh Jacobs. Like he is the heart and soul of the team.
Yeah, he led the league in rushing last year. You probably should feed him the ball.
We're gonna get Devontae the ball. Like we're gonna do different things differently.
Yeah.
And what was McDaniels doing?
I don't know.
How did he get a
Trying
job?
to get
Stealing
too
money.
damn cute.
Stealing
Trying
money.
to get too damn cute.
How did he get a job again after the Broncos fiasco?
Well, after the Broncos fiasco, he went back to New England.
So just
Went there for a couple years, had a couple more years of success, and then got himself another opportunity. I don't know. Maybe he just fits in New England, and maybe that's the place that he needs to go right now because as trash as New England is.
Because Belichick is about to get fired.
Nah. At best, McDaniels is an OC.
Oh, that's
it.
all he
And that's
is.
fine.
Yeah, that's all he
at
is.
best.
Yeah.
And that is okay. Not everyone's a head coach.
There you go.
Not everyone can be a head coach and an OC. We're seeing that down in Atlanta, So
He's not wrong.
Buzzing.
I think he was waiting. I think he really had
He
this.
set that one up.
He did. He had that one in the tank. He was waiting to
High five.
pull that one out. So
it's just it was on my next tab.
that's fine. We talked about guys getting paid because we know McDaniels is, but we also know that Jimbo Fisher for Texas A&M just got fired, and his buyout is ridiculous. By the way, do you know? Did you see the number?
I think it's 75, right? Or 78.
77 and change. Jimbo Fisher's buyout. Here you go. I got this information right here. It is, my God, $77,562,500 to be exact. A&M won't have to pay him all of it up front, obviously lessening some of the burden on the Aggies, but they will contractually be obligated to pay Fisher 25% of his buyout in a lump sum due within 60 days of his firing, which amounts to Fisher cashing in roughly $19.3 million by mid-January of 2024. You want to talk about a nice Christmas present.
So
Good God, man.
Why would I want to work if I can get fired and make more money than actually working?
Right.
I don't understand that.
I have this little piece that I found. The top 10 buyouts owed under contract terms to the Power 5 football coaches.
Yeah, what's that total? Like
Okay,
146 million?
Good, because I thought we were going to
So-
talk about Bobby Bonilla, and I didn't want to talk about that.
So Jimbo,
Still getting paid.
so this one says Jimbo is owed $76 million.
I want to take a guess. Because I
The
think I read
second one
this.
is
It's like 22 to 26.
21.5 to Gus Malzahn.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
So
Auburn back in 20.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a disparity. That's a huge drop.
Jimbo's buyout $77 million. The next closest buyout is
No, I
$21
get-
million. That's nuts.
Listen, fire me and I get $1 million. I'm taking it.
So yeah, he's gonna get like
Hear that?
the
Fire
one that
me.
I showed here. He's gonna have like 20. We'll just say 25 million over the next 60 days.
That's insane.
And then for the next couple of years, he's going to get a check for like $7 million every year for nothing.
Yeah, until like the end of 2031.
But we can't stop world hunger.
8 annual payments of approximately $7.2 million. Unbelievable numbers. We'll talk a little bit more about Jimbo Fisher. What went wrong with at Texas A&M, and where do they go from here at this point? And also, where does Jimbo Fisher go from here? So we'll get into that a little bit later on. But I do want to switch gears. Speaking of another firing, the offensive coordinator. This came down today as I was putting some stuff together. But the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, Ken Dorsey, former quarterback in the NFL, was fired today, again, as offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills.
Ken Dorsey, the Miami great?
Yeah. Fired today as offensive coordinator.
Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Not Dolphins.
Well, we know when
yeah,
when we say Miami, we know what we're talking about. Nobody's talking about the Dolphins
Miami
when
Dolphins.
we say Miami.
Okay.
Am I right?
Well, you set
am I right
yourself,
or wrong?
You set yourself up for that one, so don't go there.
But am I right or wrong? When we say Miami, what were we talking
Taking my
about?
high five back.
Oh,
Taking my
sorry.
high five back.
That was rude.
Take it back.
That
Take it back.
rude.
It was. I know it was.
I'm gonna say
But
something.
yeah, Ken Dorsey from Miami. The U.
Yeah.
The U.
Yeah, fired
just
as
lost
offensive
Florida State.
coordinator. So
How much blame should coaches get when the team isn't performing at the level they expected? For example, Ken Dorsey. All of it, duh. You the coach. You fired.
yeah, Jermaine asked the question, how much blame should coaches get when the team isn't performing at the level that is expected? For example, Ken Dorsey.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why coaches manage to keep their jobs a little bit longer than their coordinators is because the coordinator is ultimately, you got to know this as a coordinator going in, you're the fall guy first and foremost, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get fired unless, of course, upper management decides to fire all of you at the same time, right? Which we have seen that from time to time. A lot of times you'll see like a GM and a coach get fired at the same time, or
like the Raiders.
like the Raiders did, or you'll see a head coach and his OC get fired. But typically, if you're going to fire the coordinator at the same time as the coach, usually that's usually at the end of the season where they basically clean house. It's like when the head coach goes, they're not really keeping the coordinators around because more times than not, of course, that head coach brought that guy in. So, Ken Dorsey's the fall guy in this situation. And the question has to be asked at this particular point. Now, Jermaine, we appreciate the question. And obviously the head coach has a ton of responsibility towards this. But in this particular situation, in this particular scenario, we talk about, Ken Dorsey's getting fired and he's the fall guy. Ken Dorsey's not the one throwing the football.
Oh, I'm glad somebody said it.
Ken Dorsey's not throwing the football. Ken Dorsey is not, responsible for the offensive line not creating holes for the running back, not giving Josh Allen enough protection. He's not responsible for Josh Allen holding onto the ball too long. There are a lot of scenarios here, and I will say that part of the responsibility falls on Dorsey because there are other players on that team that have not gotten involved enough. Now, some of this may have to do with Diggs being a diva, but Gabe Davis was a guy last season for this team, had put up very, very good complimentary numbers as the number 2 wideout, and this guy has straight disappeared from
In
this
the
team.
playoffs, though, that's a difference.
Well, he started coming along towards the end of the season, and they got hot towards the end of the season going into the playoffs. I mean, he still he didn't put up. I think Davis ended up with high 6s, low 7s total yardage. That wasn't going to be all. He didn't do that all in the playoffs. But it's, here's my.
I don't even know where. I didn't even know he was still on the team.
I told you to start.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's disappeared. The guy has done absolutely nothing for this team. He's getting no love whatsoever.
I told you what I said this to start the year though.
What?
They didn't add any offensive pieces.
Right.
They didn't bring in any running backs.
Nope.
They didn't revamp that line at all. They didn't bring one piece to that line.
Nope.
And they just expected Josh Allen to just go out there and continue to be Superman. And he's not.
And this is what organizations do. And a lot of this is going to fall on the general manager, should. because they're not going out there and adding. Like when you're playing well, if you're, you can look at this in any scenario. It doesn't even have to be sports related. When you're doing well is when you oftentimes spend the most money because you want to continue to do well. You don't rest on your laurels, right?
Like the Mets did this year, but then it didn't work. Yes,
it's not always going to work.
You win,
right?
You bring in more. Let me go spend, because I know I'm going to reap those benefits on the back end. And
teams and players are going to want to play for you because you performed at a high level. Obviously, this year with the Mets, and we're not going to get into that, but there were other underlying circumstances, obviously with the pitching staff, et cetera. But when you look at this, the not bringing in the running back thing, and I've been preaching this all year, and I've said this for years. When you have a mobile quarterback, you have a tendency to get comfortable in that situation. You don't put an offensive line in front of a mobile quarterback because you're like, well, we're going to put the money in him. We're going to put the money here. We're going to put the money there.
Lamar Jackson.
We may not necessarily have to put as much money into the offensive line because we know the quarterback can create more outside the pocket. He can run, he can scramble, and he can throw. So my question really quickly here is, where is oh my God, why did I just draw a blank? Who'd they just bring in, the running back?
Leonard Fournette.
Where's Fournette?
He's on the practice squad still.
He's got to get warmed up. He ain't played all year. He got to get warmed up, bro.
He don't want to tear those quads that are like the size of, I don't even know.
Me.
your whole self.
True.
Yes. He's got 2 Krispies.
Did you see the picture of his quad?
Yeah, he's massive. Yeah. But I mean,
his calves are the size of my thighs.
This is the guy that I have been preaching the Bills need. This is the type of running back that I've said the Bills for the last couple of seasons need to bring in. They need a guy who can move the sticks in short yardage situations. And by the way, Fournette can also catch the ball very well out of the backfield.
So they do have Murray, but Murray's a big dude.
He's 33 years old.
Past his.
I know. Yeah. I mean, Fournette's got to be up there too.
But
Fournette's not even 30 though.
But Murray doesn't run like his size. That's the thing I've always noticed about Latavius Murray. Doesn't run like his size.
He runs too high.
And Fournette will break you. Like, get in front of Fournette when he gets through the hole, and good luck. Good luck with that.
They should have just went and got Dalvin to pair him with his brother.
Well, I said they should have gone and got Derrick Henry. Like that was something that came up briefly.
Gosh, yeah.
And
but those are bruising backs, right? Dalvin, they could have went and got Zeke.
Right.
They could have went and got Derrick Henry.
Yep.
They should have got a big back to line up next to Josh Allen, hand the ball off,
run it
play action off of that.
Throat.
Stephon Diggs already runs great routes. You got your tight ends going down. Like it was a ready-made situation,
Done.
and they didn't bring none of that in.
Nope.
They didn't put no money on the defensive side of the ball. They re-signed Ed Oliver. That was about it.
Yep.
The safeties are getting older.
Yep.
Micah Hyde is great. He's playing in our division for years.
And here's the other thing: the Bills don't.
They are pretty hurt. They got a lot of injuries on that defensive side.
And we saw a game. What was it, like 3 or 4 weeks ago when they had like 6 guys go out in the game? I get that, but this is a team who. Nobody is afraid. Nobody fears them running the football.
No.
And when nobody fears you running the football, then they're just going to line. They're going to have guys over the top. They're going to have. They don't have to worry about that. They don't have to stack the box because they're not worried about you running.
I turned that game on for a second because I had to go back to wrestling, right? Because and the Knicks were playing even though they lost. I cut the game on for a second, and I think it was like the second quarter, and they said James Cook hasn't touched the ball one time. They had one rush with James Cook.
Right.
So Murray was in the game at that point. Mm-hmm. But still, you haven't ran the ball with you. One of your more effective pieces this year was
the guy that they put as their number 1 running back.
Tell me what was wrong.
I don't know. Is that why Dorsey gets fired? Because that's his by design, that's his call. He's not utilizing the weapons properly. I mean, is there justification for his firing? I mean, I'm sure there's some.
Oh, so we just going to give Josh Allen a pass?
No. I'm just saying. I'm sure that some of the blame falls on multiple people here, right? I mean, the offense does look stagnant. It doesn't look like the offense that we've seen in the past. But is this also a byproduct of the fact that teams know what to expect from the Bills? They're too one-dimensional. They know that they're not going to run the ball successfully, that Josh Allen is going to hold on to the ball too long, that he's going to roll out, he's going to try to be Superman, he's going to throw the ball across his body and into the middle of the field, which, by the way, He's done that several times this year and gotten picked off doing it. Like it's predictable now. It's a predictable offense. So ultimately, somebody has to get. Somebody's going to get the axe here.
It's been very predictable though.
Right. That's what. More and more defenses are catching on.
So Dak's been getting beat up around all these picks he's been throwing, right? Josh Allen, over the course of the last 5 years, is number one in picks now.
Yeah.
He's 2 more than, I think, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield he don't even care. He's just throwing it like Jameis Winston.
Right.
Hey, real quick, how about Jameis stepping in for the Saints last week and throwing 2 picks? Let's go, Knowles. This guy just picks up where he left off, right? He's just like, I just throw it down there. Somebody will catch it.
I was watching one of the greatest things ever invented, clearly, which is Red Zone, right? Shout out to Red Zone. We need some free Red Zone, guys. Jameis stepped in and he was just like, somebody down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now,
imagine if that was your team and he was your quarterback.
Well, I will say this though: they actually made a little bit of a game out of it.
They did.
They made a little bit of a game out of it. So, they were down by 20 and ended up losing by 8 or something.
Olave,
so
Chris Olave, man.
Oh man, kid's nice.
Oh man,
wide receiver.
Very very nice.
Because there's another one coming out of there.
Yep.
Man.
Another question: do you guys think the lack of respect for the running game and running backs in this new pass-happy league affects teams' ability to close out and control games when it comes to time management? Great question. I don't disagree with that.
I think those little out passes, the little bubble passes to the run backs in the flat, that's just the extension of the running game. So that is, in essence, a run.
It absolutely
the end arounds
pains me to see not even fly routes, right? Whatever route they're going, the receivers just running the corner off and the little bubble route, like with a running back.
Yep.
It's like just hand the ball off.
Well, I mean, listen, that particular style was made famous by Peyton Manning and the Colts. That they learned to do that because they were a team who could score a ton, but they scored quickly. Like 3 passes, touchdown, done. And then they put their defense in a position to be on the field too often. So what did they learn to do? They learned that even if they were passing the ball, they learned to do it a lot of shorter routes. A lot of the balls that were going to be thrown are thrown underneath to the running back, so they can take some time off the clock. But even Josh Allen and the Bills don't do that well enough. They don't do that well enough
because he don't got no damn running backs.
The sooner they get Leonard Fournette in there, the better off they're going to be because he can do everything. This is a guy that can run up the middle. He can run to the outside. He's got speed and he's got good hands.
They might finish last in the division.
That is not something I thought I would say at the beginning of the year. You didn't say they'd finish last.
No, I said the Patriots because I hate the Patriots.
Right, and they will finish last. The Patriots
I don't know. They got another game with Buffalo.
There is no way the Patriots finish ahead of the Bills in this division.
I mean, the Patriots are 2-8. I'm going to keep harping on that. We're not in last, so I'm cool with that.
That 2-8 sounds vague. Sounds very familiar to me, but we don't need to bring that up right now. So,
hey, so the Bills have the Jets, Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers, Patriots, and Dolphins left on their schedule.
That's what I'm saying.
Are they going to be favored in maybe 2 of those games?
Not the Jets game because they don't play the Jets well.
They'll still.
They're home against They're home against the Jets. They're on the road to the Eagles. They're on the road to the Eagles. They're on the road to the Chiefs. They're home against the Cowboys. On the road Chargers. On the road, home at Patriots, and on the road at Dolphins.
God, they're only going to be favored in the Jets game.
Because maybe the Chargers.
They're going to get the 2.
Not if Aaron.
Maybe the Chargers. Chargers are playing tough, but they're just not a good team right now.
But the Chargers are.
That's another. Hey, Ali, you talk about someone that needs to be rescued. Your boy Herbert needs to get rescued, just like Saquon. Saquon needs to get rescued.
I said this a couple weeks ago.
Get him out of there. Maybe Atlanta can make a trade for him.
I don't. Who
for Justin Herbert?
Yeah.
Oh, bring it on! For the love of God.
Like this one. All right, I got one.
Bring it on.
Oh, now you want Justin Herbert?
At this point,
I thought you had your quarterback.
Who?
Desmond Riddler.
I don't know who I have right now. I don't know who.
Heineke was playing well until he got hurt.
He wasn't playing that well.
He's playing better than Riddler.
Oh man, when Ritter first came in that game, it was that first down that he was rushing for, and he slipped. I swore he fumbled the ball. I was going to check in on you. Because if that dude had a turnover his first play coming out there, woo, that would have been bad.
Are you angry?
You know, it's what's funny is I watch. Why are we talking about my team right now?
I think he's just derailing the show like always.
Sorry, never mind.
But the Bills' schedule does, and you mentioned their schedule. It does have them on the outside looking in on the playoffs right now. No question about that.
For sure.
No question about that right now. So, all right. So we're moving on. You ready?
Bills suck.
Is that what we were going to move on to, or
no?
Bills Mafia is not Mafian.
They definitely not.
They're definitely not.
They done smashed too many tables.
So I love this guy. Okay, I've always been a big fan. We've actually talked about him on the show a couple of times, but I want some of what Lou Williams is.
Oh, okay, Lou.
Is taking,
I didn't know where you were going for this for a second.
Lou Williams in a recent interview said that he believes he's done enough to warrant getting into the Basketball Hall of Fame. That he has made the sixth man role cool. Now, I don't disagree with that sentiment, by the way. Right?
Why not?
Now, he's the former 3-time Sixth Man of the Year.
3 of them.
He believes that he built a resume worthy of the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame over his 18-year NBA career.
Buckets.
Totally. Now, on the latest episode of Podcast P with Paul George,
Everybody got podcasts now.
Yeah, geez, what were they thinking? Williams says, I honestly feel like I did enough. I think when you think of the Hall of Fame, you think of the obvious guys. You know what I'm saying? You don't think of the rest of the class. There's a coach you've never heard of that's going to be in the Hall of Fame that same year. There's going to be some players. There's going to be some person that's a staff member that's going to go into the Hall of Fame. The Basketball Hall of Fame is about making an impact on the game that nobody else has been able to do. And I feel like I especially have done that. I feel like Jamal Crawford has done that. He's eligible 2 years before I am. He's eligible next year. So how it goes for him, how it goes for him will kind of give me an idea of what it's going to be for me, whether it's first ballot or whatever. I think I've done enough to get it. Talk about somebody who embraced a position that was handed to me, and I championed it, and I made it cool. I made it transcendent where young kids are comfortable with doing it.
No lies detected in anything he said.
Okay. So I'm going to give you this. While winning 3 Sixth Man of the Year awards, who he's tied with Jamal Crawford for, by the way.
The GOAT.
It'd be hard to imagine Williams getting to the Hall of Fame.
Why?
Because he doesn't have a lot else on his resume.
But that's
he ain't got nothing.
But if that's
he got nothing.
No All-Star teams,
role,
no All-NBA team.
But if that's his role,
and he started just 38 games over his final 11 years in the league.
See, this is.
I'm just
no. This is why that people start getting frustrated with Hall of Fames.
Mm-hmm.
Who said this most famous thing? It's like, it's not the Hall of Very Good, it's the Hall of Fame, right?
Right.
You have to be the best at your position and what you do to the game or revolutionize something.
Mm-hmm.
Lou Will is the sixth man king. Well, Jamal Crawford is the GOAT to me. A sixth man. Lou Will is right there. Like, of all time. Tell me who's going to come off the bench and give you 30.
That's the thing, though. Why do I want you want to be known as the best bench player of all time?
But there's a role for that. If that's your role, that's your role.
So my first thing is so when I saw this on the notes, I was just curious because I'm a little salty on this piece. Like the Heisman is the one that gets me the most. But when I went and I looked at the NBA Hall of Fame and the people that are actually in the Hall of Fame and their stats and everything that they have, it's like, wow, they're really just it's a different Hall of Fame in my opinion. The NBA Hall of Fame is. It's more of were you popular at the time fame, in my opinion. Now, granted, we do have some of the GOATs are in there that deserve to be in there, but I think it needs to be a little bit more exclusive, if you will, in my opinion, for the NBA Hall of Fame. It just seems like if you got 1 or 2 awards kind of thing, hey, let's put you in. And I just, because you said Jamal Crawford, I didn't even know this was an award. You ready for this? NBA Teammate of the Year. That's an award that you get. You were the Teammate of the Year.
Yeah, because he used to go to the strip club to get the chicken wings.
Now that's being a great teammate.
He's a goat, man.
That's on his resume. He's a
Yeah.
3-time Sixth Man of the Year and a 2018 Teammate of the Year.
Well, what do you have
that goes to my
Time out.
That goes to my point.
I got
that
something
goes
for
to
you
my
real quick.
point of it's just like you're cool. You were awesome at this time frame. Let's put you in because
got something for you.
How about
real
what
quick.
happened to our statistics?
I got something for you.
Being dominant, being the MVP, being the scoring leader, being the defensive person. What happened to that?
Okay. You listening? Mitch Richmond.
Yes. Yeah, why is he in?
Oh, so why is he in?
Yeah.
If certain people can get in, why are people not with resumes able to get in? If I am the best or one of the best at what I do for a sport, then why should I not reap the benefits of what follows? Regardless of what Ben Wallace was probably one of the greatest defenders and rebounders of all time, right? He wasn't great offensively, but he did something very, very, very well. Hence, make the Hall of Fame, right?
All right. Mitch Richmond, 6-time NBA All-Star. He was a Rookie of the Year. 3-time All-NBA second team. He was on the 2002 Lakers team. I don't know if he even had any minutes. That's his resume that they have for him in the Hall of Fame.
So that resume is better than Lou Will's 3-time Sixth Man of the Year, whatever his points record is, and all of the accolades that you just read off.
I don't think either of them should be in. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Mitch Richmond deserves to be in the Hall of Fame with what he has there.
So no punters ever deserve to be in the Hall of Fame in the NFL? No kickers?
There's only one punter, and there's just 2 or 3 kickers. And the Ray Guy, who is the punter, is the greatest punter of all time. It's not even close. That's why he's in her. He is the only great punter that there's ever been. And that's from the 70s.
Say that one more time. What you said? He's the greatest
He's
what?
the greatest punter of all time.
So he's the greatest
which is
punter.
a actual position on the field
And the
that
actual
plays.
position in the NBA is sixth man. That is an action. That is a
That is not.
position when
We just
you
did
have a
our top
starting
5.
You have a starting
Yep.
5, and then you have a sixth man.
We didn't
right?
pick 6 man. Why didn't we pick 6 men?
Because
it's not a real position. It's a position that was made up. Because it was a made up position. It's not a real position.
Yeah, but the sixth man coming off the bench doesn't have to necessarily be one particular. It can be anybody. It can be.
That's
anybody.
what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you on that. Right. But I'm saying it's a thing. If the NBA has a thing, 6 men.
But here's the thing
come
you
off
just
the
said.
bench first.
He's not even.
You're the first person off the bench to do something, which normally is score. Am I right?
But he's not even the best. We all
Normally-
said it was Manu Ginobili.
We never said that.
Manu
We agreed that
Ginobili
he's
is
one of these greatest.
Well,
six
before
men. It's
he
Jamal
got,
Crawford.
I mean, eventually he became a starter, but man, it was like nasty. 6
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm not disputing that.
right.
If Manu played 6 man every single year and spot started, which most 6 men do, because Jamal Crawford was a starter in Chicago, in New York before he transitioned to the 6 man role,
Right.
because
And
he
most
was a firepower man coming off the bench, right?
Right.
Do we say that he's not one of the greatest ball players because he's a 6 man?
See,
I don't understand that.
Here's the thing for me about the Hall of Fame, and when we've had discussions about the Hall of Fame multiple times over the years, and the thing I think about when I think about the Hall of Fame is, were you the best? And then don't get me wrong, I have issue with Hall of Fame Hall of Fame inductees for all sports. Like there are plenty of sports where I can go through and say no, shouldn't have been in, no, shouldn't have been in, no, shouldn't have been in. Were you the best at your position during your time in there? So like basically, if you play, we'll just use an arbitrary figure. You played for a decade at the running back position, and you played alongside a bunch of other guys who were running backs, and they played in that same time period, maybe overlap a year or two here or there, whatever. what I think a lot of people have issue with is it become the Hall of Fame, or is it become the Hall of Mediocre, or the Hall of we're going to make an exception, or the Hall of we feel sorry for you, or the Hall. You see what I'm saying?
But why does it have to be that for somebody who is one of the greatest at what he did for the sport?
I go back to Crispy's point about position.
He wasn't even good enough to make a starting five.
That is a lie.
Any place he ever went.
That is a lie, because when he was in Philly, he was definitely a starter, and he was still going to give you buckets.
So why? I guess the question becomes, why didn't he? Did he just? So he chose to be a six man. Like, he just made the arbitrary decision he was just going to be a
just
six man,
like Jamal Crawford
did. Couldn't.
No, it's not
play
that he
well enough
couldn't
to be a starting.
That was his role. He transitioned to say, "Hey, I'm going to be the first one off the bench to get." J.R. Smith did the same thing. J.R. Smith was a starter. He's going to dunk on you. He's going to jack up 15 shots a game, possibly hit a couple threes. But then he transitioned to, hey, I'm going to be the first one off the bench, because when I come in with that second unit, or if someone gets in foul trouble, I'm going to drop 20, because now I'm the primary scorer on the court, right? We normally see a six-man being a 2 or a 3.
Yeah. I mean, I've never looked at Hall of Fame as being anything more. And again, I've made this comment multiple times. There are multiple people that are in any Hall of Fame in any sport that I'm not. I don't agree with necessarily being in, because they weren't the best at their position during the era in which they played.
Baseball specifically.
I mean, I can name off plenty of NFL players that shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
too,
but am I right? It's normally baseball. You got to get a specific amount of votes in. There's a couple people that shouldn't make it. You get the, what did they say? What's the name of the one person that they put in, the vintage or the legendary or the whatever pick afterwards? Like, if these people can get in, why can't somebody who played very well at a high level be put in there?
Let me ask you this: should Frank Gore be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Frank Gore?
Yeah.
Because of his numbers.
I think statistically he's going to have enough. Yeah.
Okay. How long did so then the
there
question?
We go.
Here lies
we
the question.
go.
Right. How long did it take him to get there? Should that matter? That's
in the era
subject that comes up.
So he played in 7-8 years of that, where we started transitioning into a passing league, and he was still able to have that longevity. Is Adrian Peterson a Hall of Famer?
He broke records at running back, though. He had statistically probably one of the greatest running back seasons of all time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's and
but if we're going with numbers, Lou doesn't have the numbers.
We just read off his numbers. Are we going points specifically? Because we can't do that.
Is Frank Gore in the top 5 of NBA or NFL running backs?
Yeah, because he played 77 years. I should know, because he came to the Jets for a cup of coffee, and he shouldn't have been there.
He did. I look at it, and Frank Gore played a very, very long period of time. I give him a lot of credit, especially at that position, because typically the shelf life of a running back is very short. So, and then especially coming off of like what happened to him in college, the fact that he actually played as long as he did, yeah, I mean, is phenomenal. I can argue that I don't think Terrell Davis should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's a fact,
right? But he's in the Hall of Fame. So there's all these different variables, and I think it's when a guy comes in and makes a splash. A lot of times, people get enamored with the splash, with the you put up a certain amount of numbers in a short period of time, but but during that period, don't get me wrong, during like 4-year stretch, Terrell Davis was amazing, but then just disappeared, right? Injuries, migraines, the whole 9 yards. It just wasn't something. He had them you actually had him when he was playing, but I mean we could have this Hall of Fame question we could do a show for 3 hours and not finish this conversation.
Lou Will is a Hall of Fame.
Frank Gore is third all time with 16,000 rushing yards,
which means he'll probably get in
because he played for 17 years,
17 seasons. Yeah.
I was right.
I was joking. I'm pretty sure it was 17.
So that means he averaged just under 1,000 yards every year he played.
Right. Was it 17 years? I'm pretty sure.
How long did Emmitt Smith play? Emmitt Smith played for a long time.
Yeah, then he went to Arizona.
One of the worst.
Let's see here. Frank
debacles
Gore.
of all time. Why'd you want to see Emmett in a Cardinals jersey?
I didn't want to see that any more than I wanted to see.
He played for
Jerry
15
Rice
years.
in a Seahawks uniform.
Oh my gosh.
He played
Frank
for
Gore
15.
played for 15 years and has 16,000. So he actually had a little more than 1,000 yards every year that he rushed. He had a 4.3 yards per carry average. He had 81 touchdowns, 484 receptions, just short of 4,000 receiving yards, and 18 receiving touchdowns.
And he still was never the best at his position. So why would he be able to
He
be
was
in
a
the league?
5-time Pro Bowler, the 2010s All-Decade Team, the Art Rooney Award, second team All-Pro in 2006.
That sounds just like Lou Williams stats.
Lou Williams,
That sounds like Lou Will stats. Oh, he was the teammate of the decade.
All right, so we get a comment here. Ala makes a good point, and I want to know what made the sixth man, i.e. Crawford, not good enough to start, but yet would have better stats than the guy starting over him.
Jamal Crawford was what, 1 year averaging like 18 or 20.
hold on. So are we
Pretty sure
talking
that
about
was when he
Lou
was-
or Jamal?
Well, he's using Jamal in this particular question. I believe that those stats were actually when he was in Atlanta. Like Jamal went off when he was in Atlanta.
But that's my point. If that is my role in my sport, in my profession, I'm the first guy off the bench to give you buckets.
But let me ask you this question. Let me just
All
a quick question. So, when you start your career,
Oh, my mama.
is your mama calling you?
Lou played for 17 years. 3-time NBA six man of the year. After that, nothing. He has nothing. He doesn't have all-stars. He doesn't have nothing. No first teams, no second teams, nothing.
All right,
Chicken.
3 times
From the strip
six
club.
man of the year. That's it.
Here's my question. Let me ask this question, then we got to move on. No player coming into the league comes in and says, I'm going to be the greatest sixth man of all time. That's not
a made-up position.
Maybe
you
now,
start
though.
Your
Maybe
career.
now.
Yeah, but that's you're
Because
you're reaching.
Because Crawford and Lou Will and Manu and JR and a lot of people like that have glorified what a six man can be. Hey, I can start at a moment's notice.
Yeah, but you become a sixth man.
You don't have to become a six man.
You don't start that with your career. That you can't tell me there's anybody in this league that comes in and goes right now. And goes, I'm gonna be the greatest six man of all time.
There's a couple people that did.
That said that when they got drafted.
There's a couple people that did.
Who?
First of all, most of these people shouldn't be drafted. There's a lot of these players that either should be in the G League or should just be overseas playing somewhere. They shouldn't even be on the starting roster, or not even starter roster, or official roster. So don't get started with that part, all right? Because a lot of them suck.
Okay, but you're not answering my question.
I'm answering it. So when you go in there, you go, hey, I'm not going to be a starter. I'm not going to average 20. I'm not capable of defending and scoring or doing one specific thing very, very, very well. So you know what? I might be the first primary option off the bench because I can give you 18 minutes and I could give you whatever. Maybe James Harden should be a six man right now.
I don't think.
And just come off the bench and score. I'm just saying.
I don't think Jamal Crawford and Lou Williams are going to get in the Hall of Fame.
And when they do, mark this down.
Then I
got a
have
50-50
even
shot
less
at this.
respect for the NBA Hall of Fame then at that
You
point.
got a 50-50 shot at this. If it doesn't happen, we probably won't remember this conversation. But if it does happen, you're going to let the world know about it.
I'm going to let the world know regardless.
No.
Because I know.
He averaged 13.9 points, 2.2 assists per game. Or 3.4 assists per game and 2.2 rebounds per game.
All right.
Just say you hate Lou Will, because clearly you got a
No, I don't. I love them. I love both of them as basketball players. I truly do. That is not Hall of Fame credentials, in my opinion.
It's because
that's all I'm saying.
It's because they didn't go to South Beach.
Nope.
I mean,
And if you're banging Gore for the years, both of these guys played for 17 years, and they got 15,000 points
Next topic.
in the 82 game season.
I was trying to get to the next topic. I've been trying to do that.
I'm
for a
here.
while.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Next topic.
All right, I'm closing out my notes for this one.
You got peanut butter on those notes?
Hey, Ben Wallace has good numbers, so that was a good argument.
I love me some Ben
I know
Wallace.
basketball.
All right. So, yeah,
I might not know
But you missed
football,
on the Lou Williams.
but I know
You missed
basketball.
on Lou.
that doesn't necessarily mean that there's justification in those guys going in the Hall of Fame because
I
you
know basketball. I know basketball.
Okay.
That's right.
CeeDee Lamb says he's the NFL's best receiver.
Hell no.
I mean, I don't know how long we need to stay on this topic.
Next topic.
He needs to get tested for concussion and be put into the concussion protocol.
Where's the blue tent at? Could you find the blue tent?
Right.
And put him in it.
Hey, the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's been balling. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, for sure.
But for the year, he's not even at 1,000 yards receiving yet.
I mean, he's also been balling against less than stellar competition.
Giants and Jets,
Two
Cardinals, Patriots
Stop.
for the last 4 games.
You ain't got to talk about the Jets, okay? 2 games against the
Yes,
Giants.
we do.
2 games against the Giants, though.
Right.
They routed them.
Right.
Whoop-de-doo.
Right.
Who you going against? Like,
Giants
stop
are
it,
terrible.
man.
They're terrible.
Did he do that against the Eagles?
No.
Okay. My point exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, we've already named a bunch of receivers earlier this evening when we got our first question, which was, who's your trio? And we named off a bunch of receivers. I mean, boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's over with. It's over with. This conversation is dead.
I take Keenan Allen over him.
Keenan Allen, I would take him. I would take over him.
In a heartbeat.
We already know.
I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins still
We
over
know.
him.
We know Tyreek Hill.
Oh.
We know AJ Brown. We know Justin Jefferson. I mean, do I need to keep going? Like, do I need to keep
Devontae
going?
Adams,
Devontae Adams.
JJ,
Yep.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave.
Hey, let's put some respect down there to Mike Evans down in Tampa Bay. That dude's
Mike
balling
Evans.
still,
I'll
too.
take,
Absolutely.
I'll take Mike Evans over CeeDee Lamb right now.
I mean, we about 10 deep already.
Yeah, done.
Like, come on, man. Get out of here with that bull.
Hey,
I mean,
he's having a good couple of weeks. I'll give him that. That's
he's
it.
a good wide receiver. You kind of really haven't heard much of like him. You know what I mean? Like,
No, we did.
He's got
recently,
4 touchdowns, 14.3 yards. Average.
His claim to fame is when his girl or former girl took that he took that phone from a draft day. You remember that?
yes, I do remember that.
That's his most claim to fame.
Yeah.
I don't know what else he does
Yeah.
besides play for the Cowboys.
Good receiver, not top 10.
And he shouldn't wear 88 too, by the way. That should be retired.
Michael Irvin is actually giving the kid a ton of love, and I mean that's fine.
Well, that's his boy.
I mean, and CeeDee Lamb is on pace right now, I believe, to break Michael Irvin's single season record in Dallas. I think that's a thing.
Yeah, they throw the ball
For what?
57 times a game now. They weren't doing that back in the day.
What record is he breaking?
Hang on one second. I do have it here. 8 games left on the schedule. Lamb is on pace to break Irvin's single season franchise record of 1,603 receiving yards set in 1995.
Next topic.
Irvin, for his part, would not mind that one bit. I love when 88 breaks 88 records. All right.
Who cares? Next
He
topic.
said that about Dez, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, he did.
Dez did make that catch, by the way.
He did make
That's
that.
right, he did.
He did
He
make
sure
that
enough
catch.
did.
He definitely did. Who's the number 1 team in college football right now?
Florida State. Next topic.
I might have to agree with him. I might have to agree with him on that.
Florida State?
No,
absolutely not.
I might have to agree. You know why? Because
No.
I don't watch it.
Oh, you probably should.
Why? Ain't good teams out there. I remember back in the day,
Oh, here we go.
those old Miami
Rutgers.
teams.
Wait, sorry.
No, Syracuse. The old Miami teams, right? The old Florida State teams. The old Penn State teams.
Nebraska
The-
back in the day.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Like the old USC, the real USC, the old USC
Word.
teams. Hell, the LSU team.
Texas.
The LSU team from years ago with Burrow and Chase and Jefferson.
That wasn't even that long ago, but
And the other Moss, Randy's son. Like,
well, you can go back to the Texas days when Young was there. I mean, it's still it's in my opinion still the greatest college football championship like I've ever seen. It's USC against Texas. I still think it's the best. I still think it's the absolute.
I don't know. It's a couple touching that.
That's
Ohio State, Miami.
right.
That's mine.
That's right
Right,
there.
mine.
That Florida State chip with that game was really good. With the Kelvin
with
Benjamin,
Auburn?
the Kelvin Benjamin catch at the end of the game.
Yeah. I still think that USC Texas game is just it's monumental, man. Like it's
The Cam one, the Auburn Oregon one, right? Didn't that go down to the wire too?
pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I think they pulled away late, but yeah, I mean, who was actually I did not look at this because I haven't looked the last couple weeks because apparently the poll has Ohio State as, are they still number one?
Yeah.
Unfreaking believable.
Who they play?
Well, they have played a better schedule versus anyone else that's on here.
Fair enough,
So,
but the poll is a week to week thing, right? They're not going to look at
Right.
they're not going to look at everything that you've done over the last 8 weeks. It's a week to week decision. So, who did Ohio State play this past weekend?
Michigan State.
And Michigan State is ranked?
No.
Michigan State's
Negative.
won what? 2 games? 3 games?
I don't
Maybe.
know.
Positive.
They're 1-6. Oh, overall 3-7.
Overall 3-7. Okay.
But they beat them by 35.
Right. So then you had Georgia, who played Ole Miss, who was ranked number 9
That is
when they
correct.
played, and beat them 52-17. Is that maybe not 7?
50. Yeah, it was 52-17.
Yeah.
The week before, you played number 12 Missouri, beat them by 9.
Right. Okay, we're not talking about the
Unranked
week.
Florida.
Talking about this week.
Okay.
Right, we'll talk about
Okay.
this week.
Why are we even talking about Georgia?
Because Georgia should be number 1 in the country.
Nope. Wrong.
Who should be number 1 in the country?
Colorado.
Okay. All right. No, okay. Definitely next topic. I don't know. You know, they moved Ohio State into the number 1 ranking because Georgia hadn't played anybody and they played people close. And then now I don't understand why that didn't flip. Like what happened? So
So you guys are going to be number 1 in all of the other rankings, which I don't know how the college playoff one actually breaks down how they get the votes and stuff like that, but theirs is different than the other traditional AP coaches and things like that. So if you go look at all the other rankings, you guys are number 1.
Yeah.
It's just the college playoff one where they give it to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And this is mine. I think they try to rank this accordingly so that when they start the playoffs, they don't have Ohio State versus Michigan first round. They want to split that up kind of thing. They want to give a Georgia versus a Florida State maybe kind of piece. So I think they're breaking it up strategically.
Well, I
through
mean,
the voting.
I agree with that, but Ohio State and Michigan still have to play one another. And so whoever
That's
loses
right,
that
and it's
game,
going to take care of itself.
right,
It's
and
going to take care of it.
because whoever loses that game is probably not going to make the playoffs if Washington continues to win. If Washington goes undefeated, they will get into the playoffs, and the loser of the Ohio State Michigan game will not be in. Like that's assuming everybody else stays undefeated, of course. So that will probably take care of itself. All right, so I got one more topic I'd like to get to. I do want to go back to talking about the NFL because this past Sunday, I'm sitting down and I'm watching NFL Red Zone because my team, and I don't even want to talk about what happened in the 4 o'clock games, my team was playing at 4. But at 1 o'clock, I'm watching the 1 o'clock games, and I'm watching all of this on the Red Zone. Now, Al and I went back and forth a couple of times about the Red Zone, and it is, of course, the greatest thing since sliced bread.
While it was playing too. Yes.
Yeah. It is. Red Zone is unbelievable. I love it. Scott Hansen is amazing. Like the guy's just so good at that. He was born for that role, right? He was born to be on NFL Red Zone. But the games themselves, so you get this combination of NFL Red Zone that's just going from game to game to game. And admittedly, my wife is sitting next to me and she's watching it too. And then when they go triple screen and all these things are happening towards the end of those 1 o'clock games, she's like, I don't know how you could watch this. She's like, I can't keep up. This is hurting my eyes. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, you don't understand how this works. I can see all 3 of those screens at the same time.
And we have entered the Red Zone.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. And the games at the end of the 1 o'clock. Okay, so you had Thursday Night Football. All All right, you had Chicago and Carolina, which was a close game, but a terrible game. And then you had the early morning game from Frankfurt, which was Indianapolis against New England, which Indy, by the way, barely won that game.
So
10-6, but they still get the win.
Minshew, baby.
Still get the win. And then we go to 1 o'clock. And then we're watching NFL Red Zone. And then we're seeing Houston and Cincinnati go down to the wire. We're seeing Pittsburgh and Green Bay go down to the wire. Kick. We're watching Cleveland and Baltimore go down to the wire. Like, each one. Give me more. Give me more.
All of them.
You had the Lions and Chargers. You had the Falcons and Cardinals, but those were the 4 o'clocks, but they were still close games as well.
The Lions and Chargers game was awesome.
Commanders, Seahawks, Bills and Broncos.
Overall, it was a great Sunday. Even in the 4 o'clock games, because that I actually watched quite a bit of the Seattle game as well. Seattle and Washington, that came down to the wire. It was a great pass at the end of the game to win from
DK, right?
No, he threw it to Lockett, and at the front pylon.
Did they score?
Yeah,
I thought they kicked the field goal too.
Well, and
Sam Howell drove Sam Howell was not bad, but
I think Sam Howell is their
horrible.
future. I think he is their future. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's really, really good. I loved everything about, except for one game. I loved everything about.
I loved
NFL
everything
Sunday.
other than the night game.
The night game,
cool. Yeah, everything else was
Hey,
good.
Garrett Wilson's he's balling though. I love him.
The damn defense played well too.
They did, and it's funny how Zach Williams,
he's Wilson again.
He's Williams when I talk about some of the no-look passes and things that he was doing in that game. I was like,
it looked so good.
I'm like, bro, you're so close. You're so close to being that guy.
Damn defense.
I know. It's rough. It's rough to watch. I don't know. I think I had more enjoyment watching the full slate of games and the competitive nature of a lot of the games that came down to it, because we've talked multiple times over the course of the season so far about man, some of these games were rough, dude. Watching this wasn't a very good, you'd see 3 or 4 games in a row and you're like, oh God, these are blowouts. These don't look very good. By the way, Jacksonville got their ass handed to them by San Francisco. San Francisco, when they're at full strength, they're a problem. This is a problem team. Now, Jacksonville, Allah tells me that he believes that they're overrated. He may not necessarily be wrong, but the fact that Jacksonville got dismantled the way that they did
by a team on a 3-game losing streak,
right? But of course, all healthy, back to being healthy.
That's
again.
true. When Trent Williams is at tackle,
Man.
a lot good happens.
That's a scary dude coming around that edge right there.
Yeah,
McCaffrey's touchdown streak ended.
It did. You saw how they tried to get him the ball at the end.
They
that
forced
was
the ball to him.
Yeah.
See, they shouldn't have did.
Yeah.
There. Oh, but that's cool though, because if anybody else did that, it would be a problem. Am I right or wrong? They'd be like, oh,
and when you're up by 4 touchdowns, what the hell?
Oh, they're running the score up. Oh, they're just trying to do something.
Well, you know what I had the bigger problem with? The fact that they were actually doing that at all. Get this dude off the field. He's injury prone. Stop doing this, because the opposing team may go, you know what? Let's just go for
Let's just take his ass out.
Right? I did not think that was a good idea at all.
I would have loved to have had him pulled out because
whoa.
He was on the. I was waiting for Allah to say something because he was against a guy that I was playing in fantasy.
Right.
So I need him out. You just got to get him out of there.
Okay.
All right.
Pull him out.
There we go. All right. So our top 5. We do this every week. By the way,
I'm not doing this.
You're not doing this?
I know. I'm listening.
The one thing that I did forget to do was whether or not we were what next week's question is going to be. That's my fault. I usually ask you guys hey, what are we going to do next week so we can sort of preview it, and I didn't do that this week. We'll have to come up with a question. I don't know if we're going to do that now.
What you said something because we had a couple of them on there. Anyways, we'll
still
give
have that note
then.
from last week because it should be on there.
Greatest 6 men of all time.
Well, there's only one of them, so
there's
going to be a short list.
There's 2.
3.
No, actually, maybe 4.
Exactly. You could get a top 5 out of that.
Is Robert Ory considered a 6 man?
No. Well, towards the end of his career, I guess.
Yeah.
I think I threw that note away.
Overrated.
Who?
Robert Ory.
Oh, wow. That's going to be another show. That's going to be another show.
Most overrated players?
James Harden.
Oh, didn't we say something about draft busts? Wasn't it something about either NBA or NFL draft busts? I thought that was something like that. Top 5.
We'll surprise them.
You want to surprise them? All right. Well, we'll try to give them a heads up too. So, all right. So, top 5 NFL teams of all time. So single season. So you take single season top 5, greatest top 5 of all time. So
Allah's Googling it right now.
I definitely am, because I don't.
There's not that many Jets teams, huh? I guess I got you.
The New York Knicks.
Got them. That's
all right.
I had them at 5 as well.
Oh my goodness.
All right. I guess I'll go first.
Do we need to skip you for now? Is this something? Do we need to go to Crispy first?
You were talking to me? Why I always gotta go first?
It's the rotation, man.
No, because y'all always say then I go first. And your list is bad, and my list is not bad. But
it doesn't matter who goes first. You always tell everybody their lists are bad. So what difference does it make which order
you
we
can't
go?
go first?
What?
Because you the boss.
He's the host.
Can't I go first?
Because you the boss.
It always ends right here. It always comes back to me.
Gotcha.
Why do you always have to do that?
I'm sorry.
Okay. You're fine.
Crispy, go.
Crispy, go.
All right. This is my top 5 NFL teams of all time. Starting at number 5, the 1984 San Francisco 49ers.
Who's on it? Who's on it?
Offensively, just a not even close to anyone else. And then once they got in the playoffs, they even separated more. One of the most number 4, one of the funnest teams I've ever been able to watch, the 99 Rams. Greatest show on turf. Greatest show on turf. Some of my favorite players were on that team. Really, really loved it. This one really pained me, but I had to, because it was a top 5. This was a very, very good team. Unfortunately, they just couldn't close the deal. The 07 Pats are number 3. Just had my dude on it. Randy Moss was on there. Really, really good team. Number 2, greatest defense of all time, 85 Bears. Lost that one game to the Miami Dolphins, Monday Night Football. And then number 1, what?
We wasn't even around for that.
I was.
Oh, my
That's
bad.
how I picked the Miami Dolphins.
I forgot y'all.
And
my bad.
number 1, no question, only team to ever go undefeated, 72, Miami Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Hey, they're undefeated. And statistically, it was a good year. That's my 5 teams that Allah gets to tell me are horrible and wrong.
No, it sounded good until you said the Dolphins
I understand.
and the Patriots.
Yeah, it pained me to put that on there, but it was, I don't know. That was a really good team. They lost one game.
Yeah, go.
92 Cowboys. I do remember watching that.
Okay.
Is that number 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Never the Patriots. Oh, the 2000s Ravens
Oh, yes.
with probably one of the greatest defenses of all time.
That was my 6th man team.
But he won't give Lou
Sixth
Will into
man
the
team.
Hall of Fame. But we be nothing. What else? I'm going that team. What year was that with the Rams? The 98 Rams? I mean 99? Rams? Yeah, I'll take the greatest show on turf. The 13 Seahawks.
Okay.
Just because I like Russell Wilson and Marshawn, and the Legion of Boom.
As the number 2 of all time?
Yeah, that's why not.
I just want to make sure I got this in the right order.
Defensively, they were up there.
Okay. Number 1.
The 68 Jets.
68. That.
Yup.
Cool.
All right.
Oh.
Did you make notes of this?
Yeah, because I mailed this one in.
Yeah. All right. All right. So I'll go through this pretty quickly. My number 5 team, the 1989 San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, that was a really good team.
Joe Montana, Roger Craig, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Are you kidding me?
Your word.
I mean, just ridiculous.
Yep, I remember that team.
Just ridiculous. My number 4 team is the 1991, and they were at the time, so I'm going to refer to them as this, the 1991 Washington Redskins.
I remember that team too.
All pros and, Darryl Green. I mean, it's still in the conversation for one of the greatest defensive backs of all time. 6 Pro Bowlers, including their QB, running back, and leading wide receiver. Art Monk also registered over 1,000 yards receiving, but didn't even make the Pro Bowl that year. And, of course, their offensive line was absolutely unbelievable.
Was that the Hawks?
The Hogs,
Okay.
yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know a little bit, but I wasn't.
Absolutely
watching
amazing.
football, no.
Defense was no slouch either, ranking 2nd in the league overall and limiting their opponents to fewer points than almost every other team.
I didn't know we were giving like synopsises of our teams.
I've got some information. I did my homework.
Because I could have said like the 68 Jets, Joe Namath with the white jacket on the sideline.
I mean, I don't even know that necessarily need to be said. Kind of goes without saying, right? Kind of goes without saying.
I want to kiss you.
I want to kiss you. My number 3 team. Now, actually, I'll save my comments for after the fact. My number 3 team, 1984, San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, you got 2 49ers.
I got 2
teams
49ers in the top 5. Yes,
You're a 49er
absolutely.
lover.
Unbelievable. Fewest turnovers in the league, 32 touchdown passes. Just ridiculous. Rushing attack was insane. Yeah, absolutely amazing. This is what separated them. Third, they were 3rd in total yards on the ground, so this was what separated them ultimately from the 84 Dolphins. My number 2 team are the 85 Bears. Crispy pretty much said everything, but I mean, their numbers on defense were just ridiculous. I don't even need to go into that. If you don't realize that they're the best defense of all time, then you probably need to get your
I was about to
head
ask you a question, but clearly you just answered it.
And the number 1 team is the, and I don't really.
You better not say it.
I'm going to say it.
You better not say it.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I mean, how do you not? How do you not say
better
it?
not say that. Is it the Dolphins?
Yeah, it's a 72
cool.
Dolphins.
I thought you was going to say the Patriots.
Woo! No, absolutely not going to say that. And that brings me to a quick comment and a quick question that I have for Crispy. Is it how... I mean, you have a team that ultimately did not win the Super Bowl on your top 5 greatest teams of all time.
Yeah.
All my teams won a Super Bowl on my list, by the way.
But statistically that year, the records and everything that they broke, Randy Moss had the receiving touchdown record.
But they lost.
I believe Brady threw over 50 touchdowns that year. I mean, they lost 1 game in the Super Bowl, which I was very grateful to the Giants for.
It's a big game.
It was an amazing year for them. So we said top NFL teams of all time.
Sure, I get it.
If that's the case, then I could say that Tennessee Titans team that lost to the greatest show on turf, they had a great team.
Yeah, they did.
They did. It was a great team.
Am I right? Or we could go to a couple of them Vikings teams.
Yeah,
I
you
also-
had that option to pick those teams.
I'm just saying.
I
like,
also didn't
we
put
see
the
some good
Rams
teams.
in there. It was close though.
Or a couple of them Chargers teams with Drew Brees and LT and Gates. And
I
all of
almost put the Rams in. I don't think I could have put them in over the 49ers, even the 89 Niners. I almost put them in over the 91 Redskins, but I didn't. But the 90... I
really wanted to bump everyone up and not put the Patriots in because of the loss of the Super Bowl, and I would have had the 2000 Ravens in at number 5 then. So
the 99 Rams scored 58 more points, 58% more points than the league average.
Yeah.
That was just ridiculous.
Was it
that was a lot of fun.
You guys remember the final of that 91 Redskins
Pro?
Super Bowl team?
Do what?
Marshall Faulk? Jesus Christ.
I know. It's just a sick team, dude.
That 91 Redskins team, is that the one where they 55-10 over the Broncos?
Yes,
was that
sir.
that year?
Yep.
You just hate the Broncos.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan.
Is that because they beat you in the Super Bowl, or
No, it's
was it
more about
before
Elway.
that?
It's Elway. Just not a bad-
Even that 98 Broncos team?
As much as I look, the utmost respect. Again, Elway going out in style, winning 2 Super. I mean, when you win the first one, it's like, why don't you just retire? He's like, no, I think I'd come back for one more, win another Super Bowl. That's pretty amazing.
And Uncle Shay Shay?
Oh God,
you hate Shannon Sharp too. You got to stop hating so much. I thought I was a hater. You're a hater.
That's true. I am.
Hey, in closing,
Yes.
did you guys hear what Shannon just said about Lamar Jackson?
That
He
he's
went off
that he's overrated.
about Lamar Jackson. I'm going to send y'all the link and let me get y'all's thoughts.
Okay.
I tried to tell you he's overrated.
I have not
Nobody
seen that,
said
but I am curious.
Ooh.
Is it actually?
I'm
is
not
this
a
something-
huge.
Is this something I'm going to agree with Shannon Sharp on?
Probably.
Oh, wow.
I think so. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Shannon. I don't hate him. I don't love him. I can just deal with him. But he's hit it. He hit it spot on run on this one.
Oh wow. We know some Ravens fans that probably won't be too happy to hear that. So
I let him. I already let him see it. I let him see it.
We know another one. We know another one that we could talk to. I actually had a conversation with today. I wasn't too happy about that score on Sunday, but hey, it's what happens when the Ravens get into big games against good defenses.
Browns are the best team in that division. I said that too. Even with spotty QB play. But
Yeah.
that's another story.
But if that QB play gets better,
I agree.
man, oh man,
I said they was gonna win the division, right? Oh.
they don't even have Chubb, man. They don't even have Chubb.
They lost their Chubb.
They lost that Chubb. So that's it. That's it for us. This was great. That's good. You know what? You remember we had a couple of shows ago where Crispy and I got a little spicy. I want to say that this was the you and
We did.
this was the you and Crispy show.
This wasn't spicy. You know, if he
There's a little
just
spice.
if he just agrees that 6 men are actually players, because you got a 6 man on every team.
But I mean, for those of you who
I will
weren't
just
able
say
to
this:
tune
when
in
I was
live-
growing up playing basketball, I would never wanted to be the sixth man. I wanted to be the starting point guard. I didn't want to be the starting sixth man.
start. Oh, that doesn't work. But
Exactly.
for those of you who weren't able to check us live, you will be able to watch this interaction, listen to this interaction between Ala and Crispy. This was nice. I was able to just sit back with my popcorn and listen to that because that was a good little conversation back and forth between the two of you. Got a little.
All right, it's y'all's turn next time.
Oh man. I don't know if you want that. We're in the same room.
This happens all day, every day. I don't think we need that on here.
Oh man, but this was a lot of fun. We really appreciate all of you that were joining us live. This is a new direction for us. We are very excited about it. We've had some success tonight with it. I want to thank Christian on the other side of the camera doing his part. Appreciate you very much.
About damn time.
Shout out to Coco as well for moderating the chat for us. Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, very nice. Appreciate you, Coco. That's exactly what we needed.
Shout out to Coco as well.
Why must you? Like it's
Does he know that's not his voice?
it's in you, isn't it? Like this is what you have to
Whoa.
do. It's in you.
It's not in me.
Hey, you're on the .com couch, so just relax. There it is. There's your belt too.
.com.
.com. This was a lot of fun. Really appreciate everybody. You can check us out, of course, every Tuesday evening, usually somewhere in that 8:30, 9 o'clock range, to catch us live when we do the show. The other thing that we did a little bit tonight as well is we start off about anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes before we actually kick off the show, to where you can just tune in. You just actually tune in to the YouTube live, to our channel, and you can actually just chime in. We'll actually leave the chat up, and you can ask questions even before we go actually into the show.
Yeah.
We're just gonna sit here and probably just talk about our day and just BS some.
Right. Ask me wrestling questions because I'm here to answer all wrestling questions.
All right, we can do that. We can definitely.
And me.
No, not him.
Hey, he's been doing his homework. I haven't watched any of the WrestleManias.
We talked about it. That's what
I'm trying my part.
before the show. We're just gonna talk wrestling. That's what we're gonna do.
Does this mean I'm gonna have to do my homework now, or can I?
You don't watch
can't wait.
WrestleMania. He's up to 13. Shout out.
I just saw Steve Austin and Bret Hart.
One of the greatest matches of all time.
All right, where can I catch all this? By the way, Peacock.
Don't say it. You can't say that. We don't have rights to that. You have to say it.
The big network.
Gotcha.
Yep, the Bird Channel.
The
Yes.
Bird Channel.
Boom, boom, boom. that place. Oh yes.
All right.
It's true.
All right, so I'll start watching. I'll do my homework.
The double turn.
No, he's
classic.
not. No, he's not.
Classic double turn.
Crispy's
he's
like,
not.
no, he's not going to do it.
No, he's not.
He's
He's gonna
not.
watch. He's gonna watch The Sopranos again.
For the 14th time.
Ooh, that's what we do. top 5 TV shows.
Oh, see, I like this. Venturing outside.
I
Of
already
The
know. I already
Wire.
got mine.
All right. Okay. Here we go.
You just said TV.
We're
TV
talking about
shows.
We're talking about like Breaking Bad, Walking Dead,
Didn't I have
stuff like that.
Okay.
Because if we were doing that, I'm just gonna put Martin in my number 1. That's a sitcom though.
Right. That's a different.
See,
that's a different list altogether.
And I'm just Martin, Wayans Brothers.
You need to branch out.
I love Martin.
I do
know
too.
Every episode of Martin.
It was a great show. Martin. Great show. So top 5
TV shows.
TV shows.
Real Housewives.
Top 5 series.
TV series. Same
TV
thing.
series.
I'm with that.
All right. Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a
Yeah,
really.
I'm out. I'm out on this one. This is gonna be tough for me.
It's because if it's not sports, it's sports.
I'll have to do-
Sports.
Well, I mean, there's some sports series that's got to be out there.
What? Friday Night Lights.
Ooh,
Actually, that's a really good show.
It's a good show.
A very good show. Yeah.
That's
The movie's one of the best sports movies of all
Does
time.
Hard Knocks count?
I
Does
mean,
Hard Knocks count?
The end season one is about to start, right?
Ooh, Miami Dolphins. Are we doing? Are we ever going to do top? Oh, we've got to do a top 5 sports movies, just sports movies.
I'm with it.
Ooh, let's do that one instead. Do that one instead.
He just poo-poos my list.
Yeah, no, we're going to branch outside of
That's
sports
cool.
this week.
That's cool.
No. We're going to do TV shows next week.
TV shows.
Then we'll do.
All right.
We got to make
CSI
Chris. We make a
count?
note of this, please, because I will
CSI
forget.
does count.
So top
Okay.
5 TV shows next week. Week after that is going to be top 5 sports movies of all time.
Okay.
Cool.
Got it.
And we really want everybody else to engage in this as well. So again, appreciate all of you in the chat asking the questions, chiming in. Phenomenal first night really for us when it comes to the chat and people chiming in. This has been awesome. We know this is going to continue to grow. We're having a great time doing this. We've finally got we've got everything figured out. I mean, I'm looking at this TV right now. There's
I
so
keep
much
staring
going
at
on.
myself. I'm
But-
sorry.
Well, obviously you're going to do that. I'm looking at things from a more technical perspective. I don't have to look at myself because I already know that I look good. So I'm looking at all of these other things that are on this TV. Like I'm seeing the chat. I'm seeing all of these other things. I mean, this is something we haven't had before, and I am genuinely excited about.
Do you not see him just shake his head at me doing my school girl pose over
He
here?
wasn't shaking his head at you. He was shaking his head at me with my comment, and I realize I can see him out of the corner of my eye. I don't
just
even
glossed
have to,
over it.
Totally, 100%.
Y'all want to have some spice?
We don't need it. It's fine.
Fight.
I think we did that at the same time. Hi. So thank you once again to everyone. So you'll be able to catch us live on Tuesday evenings. We'll start this around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening. If you can't catch us live, you will be able to catch us on all of the podcast platforms, anywhere from Spotify, Amazon,
That's a good one.
Apple Podcasts, Google as well. You can check that out starting at 8 a.m. on Thursday mornings. And of course, you can listen to it anytime you want to after that. And of course, you'll always be able to check us out on our YouTube channel and just watch the podcast as well. So again, if you weren't able to catch us live, check us out any other day of the week. We'll be up and ready and raring to go on Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. So
Subscribe and hit the little bell notification
thing.
thingy. That works?
Yep.
Christian, subscribe, bell notification thingy. All right. Put that right under if you edit this, put it right there.
Yep.
Do it in post. It's okay.
So you get a lot more from us as well. You can follow us on all the social media platforms. Anybody else want to chime in, like where we are when it comes to social media?
I don't like the way you looked. I saw you roll your eye because I'm going to promo myself at Shala Shashka 51 on your socials. But we are at Balls Out, BALLZ Sports on all of them. IG, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, OnlyFans. Threads. OnlyFans. Just like the Hawks.
YouTube.
and YouTube.
Don't do it.
And YouTube.
Yeah, you can catch us everywhere. We're monitoring all of this stuff. We're on top of it day in and day out. Enjoy that content. We'll continue to remind you of where our show times. some of the things that we've talked about, and feel free, of course, to comment there as well, right? Like get on the social medias, and you can definitely chime in and have conversations with us. We've had a few folks that have commented on a few things on a couple of different platforms. We've responded to a few of those, so we appreciate you. We appreciate the love. We know it's new. We know it's early, and we're growing, but this is only going to get better. This is going to be great. You cannot help yourself. I mean, you are a child. I have literally, you have got to give me a dictionary of words that I can say that is not going to have you reacting like a prepubescent 12-year-old, right? Like, please help me with this. Can you give me a list of words that I can use?
Yes, Kimosabi.
Did you just call me Kimosabi?
Yes.
I need a list. You have to give me a list. Or would you rather not so you could just still enjoy yourself?
Figure me out.
There
you go.
Oh, my God. All right. For Allah, to my left, who is still giggling somewhere inside.
I have a nice Cody Rhodes t-shirt on, guys.
You really do. For Crispy in Greenville, South Carolina, we appreciate you. And, of course, for Christian and Coco doing the work behind the scenes as well. I am Jonas Mount. We are Balls Out. We will catch you next time.
Suck it, jabroni.
Stay hydrated. What's up, family? Crispy coming to you from Balls Out Sports. Just wanted to take a quick moment, say thank you to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting on all of our social medias. Those social medias, Balls Out Sports, on your Twitters, X's, whatever you want to call it. We got you on the Instagram. We got you on Threads. We got you on TikTok. And most of all, we got you on that YouTube channel. Lots of great things coming. Super excited. Really appreciative of all the support we've gotten so far. And, check us out. We got a new live show coming up here soon. We're going to be bringing it. We're excited. We're loving it. And I hope you all are too. Again, Crispy here at Balls Out Sports. Appreciate y'all. And as always, stay hydrated.